Doom. All right, people, how y'all doing? Wow, this is a little red there. What's going on, people? Let me welcome you to the Tim Black Show. Welcome to the Tim Black Show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. You know, this is a special after post-debate breakdown and analysis. You know, this is what we do after every Democratic debate, primary debate. We do this thing. So let's get into it. Let me go see my people on YouTube. Make sure YouTube's getting the feed. YouTube peoples. Hey. What up? We're there. What's up, people? Let me take well, I feel like this is a little bit too reddish. Hold on a second, guys. This looks a little bit. Got to make a little bit of an adjustment here. So we can bring that up just a little bit there. That may have done it. And a little bit on the saturation might want to come down just a tad. All right, let's go there. That looks better. Okay. All right, guys. So my YouTube people, thank you, YouTube people, for bearing with me right there. What's up, Buck? How you doing, man? What's up, Buck, from the Tim Black Speak On It group? I'm sure Joy is around here somewhere, too. Go to Tim Black Speak On It group on Facebook, guys. Become a member of our free Facebook group. We share information, news clips, stories. Do it. Hey, what's up, Joe Famous and Elizabeth and Robert and GWG and James and Con, Huevos, 99 Nation, Chris Way. We got a good crowd going on, Mr. Savvy. Wendy's in the house. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? I see you rocking that TBTV logo stuff. I love it. What's up, Eric Wallace, Sean Graham? What's up, Sean? Mr. Savvy, Black Monty, and Guillaume Uli's in the house, and the whole crew. Thank you, guys. Now will be a great time, an excellent time to share this on your social media. I'm trying to tell you, we going to give it to you raw, real, about the entire Democratic debate tonight. I got a lot to give you, so let's get into it. But first, let's go make sure our Facebook people know that they can hear, make sure they're good to go. Hey, Jessica. How you doing, Cindy? Uli's on this side, too. Thank you, Uli and Virginia and Brendan, Evan, Zara. Good to have you guys. Hope you guys can hear me. If you can hear, let me know, because sometimes things are funky. You never really know. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? What's going on, Nicole? Rebecca, new comments, 5 new comments. George, Rose. I think by now someone would say they couldn't hear me. Hey, Rosemary, what's up, Ryan? Angela, can you hear me? Angela and Nessa, can you hear me? I don't know about that. And Amy's in the house, and Danielle. All right. Dory, John McCarthy, and Christy. All right, so I hope I'm not seeing any, can we get a thumbs up on Facebook? Let me know that you guys can hear. Oh, I hear you. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Christy Hansen. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate it. All right, so here we go, guys. As you all know, tonight was the 5th, number 5 in the Democratic primary debates, and I want you to know from the top, I'm going to keep this all the way real with you. This was by far the worst one. Yeah, this one was not good at all, folks. This was not the best debate. This is the worst debate that we've had so far. If this was your first debate that you've ever watched this election season in the Democratic primary, let me tell you, I'm sorry. This was hard to sit through. All right? This was not a riveting debate. The moderating wasn't good. The subject matter, they went places they shouldn't have went. They spent way too much time on impeachment. Thank goodness that Bernie Sanders tried to pull them from the brink on the impeachment thing. Made no sense. It's all that's been on the news all day. And then Rachel Maddow, of course, Miss Russia hysteria herself, wants to spend exorbitant amounts of time on the very thing that everyone's been talking about already all day. Why do you need them to go into it? All right, so that's the first thing you got to know. So I wasn't all that impressed. And look, I'm watching this thing because I'm looking for game-changing moments. Game-changer moments that are really going to impact the ground, impact the polls, impact people's placement in this race. In fact, there are people who had so much on the line, I was sitting there astonished that they weren't acting like they had a lot on the line. Can you imagine it being your last stand, so to speak, and you kind of going in there kind of nonchalant like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. Hey, everybody, how you doing? It was almost as if everyone was given marching orders for the most part and were told what parameters to stay within in order not to piss off the electorate or not to piss off donors or something. And my thing is this, if you're polling at 2% or 3% or whatever, what do you got to lose? Not much. But people were being it seemed like they were playing more defense instead of offense. A lot more defense going on where people were trying to protect what they already had as opposed to kind of going after it and trying to score big points. So I took a lot of notes. I did a lot of tweeting. But honestly, guys, I'm not going to force it to make it more than it was. I mean, there were a couple of moments that we're going to highlight, but moreover, it was not a titillating experience. And don't get me wrong, this format does not lend itself to give you a whole lot of great information anyway, where you're going to be sitting there going, ooh, I come away a more educated voter. No, I didn't. And these debates are not set up for that. They're set up to do one or two things. One thing is get some buzzwords that are going to do well so that the network that owns the rights to this reality show can then take those clips and make more money on them in the incoming, the next couple of days. So you get like a news cycle out of the clips. That's the whole purpose. That's one of the purposes. The other purpose is, of course, the advertising revenue that is generated from this. The butts in the seats, the eyeballs on the screens, the touches with the mouse. That's what it's all about, guys. At the end of the day, okay? Now, it's getting closer and closer to the first primary in Iowa, so more people are kind of starting to wake up. Kind of getting more people that are more engaged. I don't think we're quite there yet, to be honest with you. But, every debate, there are more and more people start tuning in. But if they did, and this was their first glimpse, I'm trying to tell you, I don't feel good about it. Jesus. Where can we start? The first opening statements. Let's start with the opening statements. Okay, first of all, Elizabeth Warren was given a lot of time to talk during the first half. Way too much time to talk for someone who doesn't have a whole lot to say. Everything's a story about Oklahoma, her life, somehow weaving that into something else, and then kind of losing us along the way, and then at the end closing with something that she said 1,000 times. It's boring, it's repetitive, and it's so Elizabeth Warren. She talked about corruption taking money and then mega donors and something about ambassadorships and how she wrote some type of pledge that she would not give big donors ambassadorships or something like that, and no one else would sign it, and she was kind of pissed off about it. It landed as clumsily as Kamala Harris's whole thing about trying to get Trump off Twitter. I mean, who gives a crap who's an ambassador? I mean, I really don't care, just like I don't care about Trump being on Twitter. No, I don't think some rich bastard who gave you, I don't know how much money, right, should become an ambassador, but why are we wasting time in a debate talking about ambassadorships? This is the last thing. This is the last thing we need to be talking about. If you want to talk about money influencing our politics, let's talk about big pharmaceuticals. Let's talk about Wall Street. Let's talk about the big industries. Let's not talk about some rich guy gave you some money so somebody made him an ambassador. So that, to me, kind of set the tone for what this was going to be, which was a whole bunch of nothing. Who gives a damn about the ambassador of whatever Nantucket or whatever character Sacha Baron is playing or whatever? All right, so anyway, Amy Klobuchar, the opening statement sealed the deal for me, man. It just started off bad for me. I mean, she's shaking like she's shaking like, I I don't know his name, guy from Family Ties. She's shaking. She's shaky. She's trembling. I don't know what she's trying to say. I'm trying to wonder why Amy Klobuchar is up on that stage. I'm still trying to figure it out, guys. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is. No one told me. No one faxed me. You know, Bernie Sanders' opening statement was that Trump is the most corrupt president ever. And I'm like, okay, Bernie, don't you do this. Oh, Bernie, don't you go down this road. Most corrupt, most bigoted, most disgusting, bad, worst hair, worst suits, horrible ties. You know, don't do this. Don't do this. And then he switched it. I said, thank you, Bernie. He switched it. He started talking about that the Democrats, if they didn't focus on real issues, that they were going to definitely lose to Donald Trump. That they could not, if they do not focus on things that primarily impact the American voter, they will lose to Donald Trump. And I was like, okay, Bernie, there you go. That's my Bernie. That's what I want to hear from you, Bernie. Don't you start sounding like these guys. We don't need you sounding like those guys. It's like Bernie throws him a little bone. All right, okay, I'm going to throw you a bone. You leave me alone? No hit pieces? Okay. Russia. Okay. Listen, we need infrastructure. We need help, Medicare for all. We need minimum wage. We need $15 an hour. Well, we need lower the price of pharmaceuticals. We need to end the wars. We need to, But for some reason, all his critics focus on the Russia part. He's throwing him a bone, dumbass. He's trying to get him off his ass. No one's had more hit pieces written about him except for Tulsi Gabbard, and she's earned some of those. All right, so Bernie Sanders hasn't earned hit pieces. They just make him up. Like Washington Post famously wrote like 16 hit pieces in 6 hours or some crazy number last election cycle. But I'm so glad that he did not stay there because he's going to hear from me if he stays there talking about that crap. Now, we all know that Buttigieg comes into this debate. Comes into the debate kind of strong. In Iowa. I'd probably do pretty good in, I'm trying to think of a really black place. I'd probably do pretty good in. There's places in D.C. that were pretty black. They used to be. Back when Chappelle used to live here. Yeah, when Chappelle lived across the bridge, I was living in D.C. in Landover, Maryland. It was a pretty black place. Now it's gentrified. But what I'm saying is you can do really good in a place where everybody looks like you. Everybody has the same experiences. Everybody can relate to one another. No one's going, hey, who's that guy? Why is he here? What's that in his pocket? Why is his hat funny? So Pete Buttigieg comes in with doing well in Iowa, and all of a sudden he's like the messiah of the Democratic primary season. But his opening statement kind of said it all to me because he said nothing. Pete Buttigieg, we need to address big issues. Pete Buttigieg addresses no big issues in his entire campaign. The only issues he addresses is knocking anything that's progressive. That's what he's been doing. He hasn't addressed a single big issue. He came up with one idea. It's called the Douglas Plan. Right? The Douglas Plan, is that the name of it? Something like that. The plan that he made up without any black people input about black people helping black people. Something real crazy like that. Marshall Plan, that's it. Thurgood Marshall Plan, that's the name of it. Anyway, back to Harris. Harris started this debate, ladies and gentlemen, and I said, okay, Harris, she really needs this, all right? Oh, she needs it like a fish needs water, baby. This is no joke. There are a couple people that had everything on the line, and I do mean everything. Harris is one of them, and she starts off somewhat with glimpses of what I thought was going to be a good night for her because, like I said, squeaky whale gets the oil. Closed mouth don't get fed, and she got to have an open mouth and some oil for the wheel. Because if not, she gonna have to go home. And no amount of AM Joy complaining, no amount of Dr. Jason Johnson trying to make a case for her, up there caping for it, trying to pretend we don't hear and see what we hear and see. No amount of Zerlina Maxwell crying foul is going to save her if she doesn't come out and handle business. Same thing for Cory Booker. Cory Booker comes out talking about the minimum wage is not enough. We need equality of opportunity. And I like that. And I said, wow, equality opportunity is what we need. I don't know if Booker's the perfect. There is no perfect, right? But I don't know if he's the right vessel. Sometimes you can have the right message but have the wrong messenger. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Elizabeth Warren. So things are going not so well. Not so well. But, there are glimpses. I see Cory Booker, and I tweeted about it. I said Cory Booker is at least putting up a little bit of a fight. You can tell when somebody's not ready to go home yet. Cory Booker's not ready to go home yet. He kind of demonstrated that tonight. He had more energy than a lot of the other candidates. I mean, he has to have more energy, right? When time calls for it, you better have it. I mean, hey, look, dog. Hey, go big, go home. Go big, go home. You can go home. Look, you can not go big and complain all you want, but you either going to go big or you're going to go home, and that's the way it's going to be. None of this is going to save you. No one's going to feel sorry for you. This is about putting butts in the seats. If you don't have a buzz, you can't raise money. You can't raise money, you got to go home. That happens to the best of us. You're already a senator. I can't feel bad for somebody who's already a senator. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. You're given an opportunity on the world stage to do your thing, and people are gun shy. People are worried. They're afraid to take on Pete Buttigieg. It's the most disgusting, lackluster performance I've ever seen, guys. A bunch of people are afraid of this guy. Oh, well, when we look at the trajectory of the Democratic Party, I see one thing. I see Donald Trump, that he is a cowardly individual, that his inability to articulate a unifying message to the American people that will facilitate us being all able to gravitate and hold hands and to walk into a light that is shining on us all. And as this light shines on us all, we will all have the ability to have better lives and lives that will enable us to prosper and be the American people that we're born to be. And at the end of all of that, it said nothing. Pete has the ability, the uncanny ability, the unique ability. Not many people are able to do it, where he can say a whole lot of nothing. And people go, wow, he said a whole lot of words. But as a sister on my block, Dolores D, would say, grew up in the hood with me, crossed the hall from me in Landover, Maryland, by the 25-hour store. Was a liquor store that never closed when I lived there. She would say, scared money don't make money, honey, and I ain't got time for that. That was her main thing. Scared money don't make money, and I ain't got time for that. Well, you know what? When Pete's talking, all I'm thinking is somebody better jump on him and calm him down. He is not saying it. He's wasting our time. I'm getting ear fatigue. When someone talks and says nothing, vacuous, empty hole of talking is what Pete Buttigieg does. And still, no challengers. Bernie kind of pumped life. When did this? I'm trying to think. When did this come up first? Because there's a couple things. I'm trying to remember who did what first, okay? Warren talked about universal preschool. I like the idea of universal preschool, all right? Then she talked about a 2-cent wealth tax. And people say, hey, this is BS, this wealth tax she talks about. I find it funny that Yang was defending the rich guy. Like, hey, I don't know why I have that written here. Yang jumps in to defend Tom Steyer. I don't know why, but maybe he felt the rich guy deserved to be defended. Okay. 2-cent wealth tax, create new jobs, $50 billion for the HBCUs, cancel student debt, loan debt. You know, Warren's talking about all the things she wants to do. Wants to do. Doesn't matter what you want to do if we don't think you actually are going to fight to do any of it. But okay, sounds good when you're saying it. Sounds good. Are you going to actually fight to do any of it? Probably not. Oh, fiddly sticks, Tim Black. Oh, golly, G.G. Willikers. I'm in this debate, and I'm being really quiet because there's no reason for me to stick my head up and talk about anything. No one else is challenging Pete Buttigieg. Why should I challenge to Pete Buttigieg? Well, you're a front runner, so once you get this guy out the way, he's nothing. He has accomplished nothing. He has no experience. You believe, guys, I'm going to have to go out of order on this because we're going to have a little rant. You need to understand the frustration level that your brother Tim Black was under while I was forced to watch this for you, my Tim Black Wolfpack. I love you guys, but this was a hard one. Pete Buttigieg, when someone brought up, because a couple people did bring up things. Someone brought up, hey, Pete has no damn experience. You know, Pete said, screw your experience. This doesn't matter. Look how bad look at the shape the country's in, and all you guys have experience. And no one jumped in and tackled him. They just let it go. He was able to diss the entire field. Him with no experience. He runs a small town that he can't even run. The town is not he's not even running it. It's running him. He can't maintain. He won an election by 8,000 votes. I got more Twitter followers than people that voted for Pete Buttigieg, and he's running for president. Now, I'm not hating on him. I don't want to be president. Like Andrew Yang says, I'm not a psychopath. I don't want to be president. I never dreamed of being president. I never thought, hey, I could be president. I'd be a good president. I like that about Andrew Yang, okay? I like that. That seems real. In fact, if you compare Andrew Yang to Pete Buttigieg, I'd have to go with Andrew Yang every time, because at least, even when I don't believe everything that Yang is saying is as dire as he makes it sound, he seems more like a real person. Yeah, Pete's an actor. Yeah, pizza fabrication. Andrew Yang tonight, I'm not going to say he won the debate, but I will say, and later on I'll come up with who won, because I haven't decided yet. But I'll tell you that Andrew Yang came across more human, twice as human as Pete Buttigieg. And you would think that the person who's a politician would be able to do that, but he's incapable of doing it. But no one took him on. Bernie Sanders had a great line in there. You know the line, because they started talking about healthcare, and they were talking to everybody else besides Bernie about Medicare for all. In fact, Bernie said, "Well, yeah, I want to talk. I wrote the damn bill. And it was a light moment that kind of made people feel a bit better, a little bit more, you know. I want to switch gears a little bit and get to Tulsi Gabbard. Because, you know, whenever Tulsi Gabbard is on the stage, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Are you going to get Tulsi Gabbard from the second debate, who was kind of chill, you know? Or are you going to get that Tulsi Gabbard from the third debate, who was ball-busted and broke down Kamala Harris with the punch heard round the internet? Never know what you're going to get. Or the fourth debate, where she was silenced pretty much. Like, she was pretty much a non-factor in the last debate. So, coming into this debate, I didn't know what to think. I'm like, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know which Tulsi's going to show up. And she showed up sort of in the middle. Ironically, her first really standout moment was thrust upon her, because it's not something that she initiated. The questioner pitted Kamala against Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, because Kamala was just sitting there. And they were like, Kamala, would you like to respond to Ms. Gabbard? And Kamala was like, well, oh, yeah, yes, I would. Let's be really, really clear. And Kamala brought up a bunch of things, one of them being that Tulsi Gabbard met with Donald Trump to look at a position. She buddied up with Steve Bannon. Something about white nationalism. I know she met with Donald Trump. I never knew exactly what was for. All right? But she said, like, so Kamala was throwing some things against the wall about Tulsi. And, you know, Tulsi's looking at her. And then she said something. She said one thing out of everything that she said, one thing that Kamala said that resonated with me was, she said that Tulsi Gabbard, that she wouldn't be able to win a nomination, wouldn't be able to win. She didn't have the ability to put together an Obama coalition. Okay? Yeah, you know, like, you know, black people, Latinos, black people, Latino. Now I mean one or two people. I mean lots of black people. In order for the Democratic Party to win an election, they're going to need a lot of black people. I know. There's a lot of people who are Tulsi supporters who think that's a foregone conclusion. They got to worry about black people. We're going to get all the Republicans to vote for us. So we just leave black people alone. We don't got to deal with black issues. Dealing with black people stuff is identity politics anyway. Why should we have to deal with black people stuff? Right? Wrong. You guys voting for, you want Trump to win? Just say you want Trump to win. Just say it. Read my lips, Tulsi supporters. If black people stay home, Trump wins. It's that simple. It ain't even hard to do the math. Most white people vote Republican. In order to compensate for that, the Democratic Party needs a large turnout from blacks and Latinos, even more so from blacks, because based on last election, only 65% of Latinos voted Democrat. All right? About 35% voted Republican. Compared to black voters who 90% voted Democrat and only like 10%, which was high. This was a high. Last election was a very high Republican vote for the black folks, and that was mostly black men, okay? I mean, still was a lot of vote, 90% for the Democratic candidate. So I felt that Kamala Harris scored a point there because it's true. I see no real outreach black support from Tulsi Gabbard. And that didn't just go for Tulsi Gabbard. That goes for any candidate who thinks they're going to win an election. You are not going to win without the black vote. I'm not saying that just because only issues that matter are black issues, though I think they do matter, though, Johnson. But the point is, it's just reality. It's like math. It's like you need a center. If you're going to play basketball, you need a center. And you need a point guard. You need a forward. You need a small forward. There's things you need in order to play. Saying that the Democratic Party needs you to get the black vote is just like saying the same thing. You can't have a football team without a quarterback and a running back and a kicker. Like, these are things you need. But people take it personal. They get butthurt. I think some of them are probably in my comment section getting butthurt right now because they don't like to hear reality. So back to the point. That was a good punch by Kamala Harris. But unfortunately for Kamala Harris, Tulsi Gabbard punches back. See, you didn't think I was going to say that. Yeah, you start, so go ahead and apologize for your comment. See, if we don't keep it real, we can't have a conversation. If all I do is poo-poo on people that you don't like without being objective, then what are we doing? We just being partisan hacks, aren't we? Just say it. You want a partisan hack. Well, I'm not a partisan hack. Take that shit somewhere else. There are a lot of partisan hacks on YouTube. Go see them. So anyway, back to my point. Tulsi Gabbard punches back at Kamala Harris, and she says it because Kamala also brought up Assad. When they start running out of stuff to say about Tulsi, they start going to their playbook of smears. Right to the playbook of smears. Oh, what did that lady say that time on the Joe Rogan podcast? And what did that other lady say that time on Bill Maher? And what did that lady say? What disparaging, non-fact-based smear did they say on The View? That's right, Toady. That's right, Operative. That's right, Russian Plant. That's right, Trojan Horse. That's right, Fringe Kennedy. That's right, Assad apologist. They start throwing all this stuff. No facts for any of it. Zero facts. So when they went back to Kamala Harris, they're giving her the opportunity to respond because now Tulsi's done called her out. Oh, you want to play? Okay. You smearing bastard. Here we go. Let's do this. They went back to Kamala, and Kamala's like, I got nothing else. I'm good. Let's talk about, did you notice that there was there's a new movie, there's a show on Showtime. There's a show on Showtime called The Watchmen. It's so good. Regina Hill is in it. Regina King is in it. Regina Hall. No, Regina King. Regina Hall was a singer. Oh, she could sing back in the 90s. Oh, she made such beautiful music. Oh, I loved her. I had my first date with a very strapping young man on that song. That song was great. But we talk about Regina King. Regina King, she just won an Oscar, girl. She was great. And this movie is, you get to see this miniseries. And they were like, what are you talking about, Kamala? Do you got anything, responses for Tulsi Gabbard? Because she just punched you in the stomach really hard. Don't you have something to say? She was like, no, I don't have anything to say. We can just move on. Whew, I'm glad I survived. And the look of relief when they moved on that was in Kamala's eyes was very obvious that Kamala had nothing else. And I'm sitting there going, this is some bull. This is bull. That's why I say, guys, this was a horrible debate. Kamala Harris had to be. Listen, guys. If somebody punched you so hard, they knocked all the money out of your bank account. Tulsi Gabbard in the second debate, or was it the third debate? The third debate punched Kamala so hard that her children's children shook. You know? Tulsi Gabbard punched Kamala Harris so hard that she forgot her own birth date. She don't remember how old she is no more. That's gone. She's memories is gone, erased. Her whole past is erased. I saw her going into the wrong house. She don't remember where she lived no more. She don't even know her own address. Hear what I'm saying? And I know this was months. She has months to prepare. Like, if I get a chance, I get a chance to get that Tulsi Gabbard. Woo! You know, she's sitting in the mirror. I am the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, running up to on the ladder. You know she's going over this. She got her staff reading questions to her. So what you gonna say to her? What if Tulsi Gabbard staff you gonna bring up? What you gonna bring up? I'm gonna bring up a voting record of how she voted for this and she voted for that and she didn't defend women's rights and she did. Yeah, that's right. That's good. It's good. Sounds good. And what else she gonna go? I'm gonna say that she's not diverse at all. Her talking points that she doesn't focus on the black community. Yeah, that's your strong point. Kamala, go for that. Yeah, she doesn't support the black community. She didn't have any black people on her staff. Closest she got is a Latino dude who has a network called Mi Casa Su Casa. And that guy's crazy. Oh, okay, that's good. Keep it going. Hey, what else you got? What else you gonna say? I'm gonna say and I don't even know if she's from America. She from Hawaii. Maybe she's not even American. Yeah, that's good. Well, I don't know about that. We tried that on Obama. That didn't work when they did that on Obama. That's true. I'm gonna let that go. What else I got? I don't know. We're gonna keep working on it. Keep building. So the point is, guys, that they've been working on her having a comeback for Tulsi Gabbard for months. And the best you got is one little line about how Kamala met with Trump for a position that you can't verify. I don't even know if she met with a position. I didn't see an article saying that. The other one was something about Tulsi Gabbard not being able to put together a coalition, but the rest was smears that we've already heard before. And that's all you got. That shows me you are ill prepared to do battle. And I don't just mean battle willy-nilly against the person who took you down, took bread off your counter, money out your bank account, and took your man to dinner and made him pay for her dinner. And I say, guys, it was a lousy debate. What did you come here to do if not to defend yourself and go after it? You are, at this point, Kamala Harris is trailing Tulsi Gabbard in some polls. Just the sheer level of pride would cause you to rise to that occasion. But to Zelina Maxwell, A.M. Joy, Dr. Jason, maybe we need to accept the reality that though she may be an excellent prosecutor, especially of poor black people, inability to hire proper counsel, she may have been good at locking up individuals back in California. She may be good at making a white man squirm, an old bigoted white man squirm by the name of Jeff Sessions when he's in a position where he has to listen to one of the darkies talk on and on and on, something he's not used to. But when it comes to actually jousting with a political opponent, not so much. This is not misogyny, not racism, not bigotry, not hatred of women, none of that, bias or anything. Maybe this is just reality. Okay? That's all that is. So it was a missed opportunity for Kamala Harris to score points against Tulsi Gabbard. I can't even give her a point for that. Okay, I'll give her half a point. Half a point for making half a point. Andrew Yang, he talked about, this is where he spoke up for Tom Steyer, because they had a swipe at Tom Steyer about money. It's funny that the only people that kind of came to Steyer's aid were Amy Klobuchar, who's poor. She said, I was poor. I'm the poorest person. I'm poor. Okay, fine. I didn't come from money. Okay. You made a lot since you've been here, but okay. So you made all your money while you're in office. Okay, cool. It's interesting how somebody can make money as a public servant. Don't know if I like that or not. But anyway, Tom Steyer. Yang supported him. But Yang says he started talking about AI and robotics and, and freedom dividend, and all roads lead back to freedom dividend, robotics, AI. And this is like, I've been hearing Yang say this for a long time. I'd really like to hear more. I mean, there was a question about foreign policy, and Yang came back somehow talking about robotics. We talking about Saudi Arabia. Somehow, Yang moves the conversation all the way back to robotics, and some Neanderthal in the audience goes, yeah! It's not a good answer to the question. That's not having nothing to do with what we asked him. And the moderator was like, I would normally redirect back to you to get you the answer, but we don't really care what you have to say. It's not important. Okay. I mean, come on, man. I know you just. Here's the deal, guys. I know that the Yang can't just be like, I ain't got nothing, man. I really don't know anything. That's what he really wants to say. Like, look, what do you think about the king of Saudi Arabia? What do you think about those guys? You think how should we deal with them? He's like, I don't know. Don't let them come over to your house. Make them take their shoes off when they walk in. I don't know, man. What the hell? Man, I'm here to help give people money. I want to give everybody $1,000 a month, man. Got time to be worried about what Saudi Arabia's doing over there, man. Come on, man. I'm about my homeboy. I'm down Tupac. Come on, man. Wu-Tang. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. Like what? But he can't say that. But see, the fact that I can tell, I can look at him, I can see it in his soul. I can see in his soul that he wants to say something similar to that. Okay. Listen. Because he has to start with the hands. Okay. Americans all across the country are facing these tremendous obstacles, and we have robotics taking jobs, and what really got us Donald Trump was the emergence of robotics and AI, and blah, 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 and $1,000, and my kids, and my wife, and she don't got no job, and my kids stay at home, and my kids and money, and we need to raise money. And then I talked to this little boy who needed money. He said, I don't have no legs. I said, I'm going to get $1,000 a month. Then he started getting up. He stood up. He walked. Give everybody money, and people will walk who don't have legs. Now, things got interesting. And, back to Mayor Pete. Now, look, guys. If this is the guy who's surging in the polls, he has no right at all surging in the polls. He's horrible candidate with nothing, running on air. He's even running on less than Obama ran on, okay? But at least Obama could give great speeches. And he knew all the Jay-Z songs. Pete's got nothing. He's just a white guy who didn't get shot or nothing in when he was enlisted. And he is a mayor of a town no one ever heard of until he became so popular that everybody, this is South Bend. Who bent over did what? Oh, South Bend. Where's the North Bend? I ain't been to the North Bend. Is there an East or West Bend? Who's been bending? Hey, man. Bending where? What's going on, man? I stand up straight. I don't bend for nobody, man. I'm a brother from the motherland. But all of a sudden now it's important. Gives a damn about a South Bend, man. When you hear people talk about Pete in South Bend, black people talk about it, they're like, who is this guy? They don't even know he's the mayor. That's how invisible he is to them. But I bet you all the developers know him in South Bend. Oh, yeah, that's that guy Pete. We know Pete very well. He's the one reason why we got this property so cheap. We had to push the the black folks, the poor people out the way. Move them down this, move them up out of here. They're in a trailer park home over there in Route 66. Put them all in the trailer park home, Route 66 out there. out here in the Midwest town. That's what we do. Push them right to because we the heartland, the heartless land. And see, this is the thing. Amy Klobuchar is quoted saying that if people...
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again, please?
Shut up. Siri, shut up. Pete Buttigieg. Amy Klobuchar is quoted saying that if Pete Buttigieg was, if he was a woman with the experience that he has, he would not be on that stage. That is what Amy Klobuchar said when asked about Pete's qualifications. Amy Klobuchar is not killing it. The most I've ever seen her poll is 6. And that was like one poll. Most other polls, she caps out at like 4. Amy Klobuchar is not killing it in any way, stretch of the imagination. For some reason, Bill Maher brought her on his show. Then, I don't know, some people said, there was something with Bill Maher and Amy. I'm like, I don't know. That looks really boring. I thought Bill only liked black girls. What's he doing with Amy Klobuchar? Like, well, I don't know about that. Maybe he got bored one day. When it's dark, he couldn't tell. The lights were off in the room. Maybe he didn't know who he was with. Maybe he owes her something or she owes him. Or there's a reason why she brought on. Anyway, after that, she went from 2% to 4%. And people start saying that Amy's a part of a conversation I didn't know anybody was having. Most people I know don't even know who Amy Klobuchar is, but I digress. The point is, when given an opportunity to go after Mayor Pete in a very friendly environment, where you know, I mean, you're in Georgia. You're in Georgia, home of the Peaches, home of the Peaches. Peaches mean women. Home of Stacey Abrams, black woman. Everybody's feeling the woman power. Like, all that's in there. Oh, yeah, the woman power. And it's like, why aren't you going to hit his ass on his inexperience? And the whole time, Pete's looked in with puppy dog eyes. I like women. I mean, I don't like women. I like guys, but I like women. And she lets him off the hook. Well, I didn't say that Pete, I didn't mean that about Pete when I said he was inexperienced. And of course, he has a lot more experience than Donald Trump. Not anymore, he doesn't. Trump's been president almost 4 years. Not anymore, right? You don't really think that Pete can beat Trump, do you? You really not that stupid, are you? Okay, so back to the point. When given an opportunity, it wasn't brought up by her, it was brought up by the moderators. She punted the opportunity to corner Pete on his inexperience, his lack of experience. And she let it go. Instead, she settled for a kumbaya moment, bigging up Nancy Pelosi, who ain't even there. And people went clappy, clappy. Clappy, clappy. No, you're not running against Nancy Pelosi. You're running against Pete Buttigieg. He has 12 points on you in Iowa. Don't you want to move up in Iowa? Apparently not. That's why I say this debate was garbage. Amy Klobuchar is a coward. Kamala Harris was a coward. What was the point? Missed opportunity, Amy Klobuchar. Buttigieg. So Tulsi Gabbard sat back, she looked at this and she said, well, I guess I got to be the one to call it out. What the heck? And she proceeded to ding Pete on his foreign policy. Ding Pete on some crazy notion that Pete had of taking the military and going into Mexico to fight the cartels. Then Pete's like, no, I never said that. Then Tulsi's like, yeah, you said it. You said it, motherfucker. I ain't making nothing up. We can look it up. Fact checkers will look it up later, since you want to deny what I'm telling you is true. Pete. Of course, the only thing Pete can come back with is this another smear, the same old smear. You met with Assad while Assad. And then Tulsi came back with the old canned, what else she going to say? Hey, meet with adversaries, JFK met with blah, 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 and, Gorbachev, Reagan met with Gorbachev, and peanut butter met with jelly, and water met with fire. I don't know. Just same old, So at least Tulsi tried to ding him. It didn't really leave that much of a mark because they didn't want it to. They moved on briskly. Then they moved it on to Bernie. because they had to. But I will say I was impressed that Booker tried to get a rise out. Like, Booker went down fighting. He went out fighting. I don't know what's going to happen between now and the next debate, if Booker's going to even be with us here, running in this race. But I have to say, when it comes to who gave it a shot, Booker gave it a shot. He called out Joe Biden. He did a good job of calling out Joe Biden and saying that Joe Biden's policies don't match his rhetoric, that Joe Biden doesn't have an authentic connection to the black community. His community is tangentially connected via Obama. And I like that because it's true. People that like Biden don't even know Biden. They don't like Biden. They like Obama. They like Biden by extension. All it's going to take is like Biden to do a couple more dumb things. They'll be like, why did I like Biden? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's why I don't even know Biden. I can't abide the Biden. That's why Biden been sliding. But Cory Booker was giving it a good shot. You know, he was, listen, look, I've been the mayor of Newark for a long time, and then I went to the Senate. And while I was in the Senate, I was there to harness the love of the American people. And I want the world to understand that my name's Cory Booker. And together, we can govern this country in a better way. And I want you all to know that the power of me is invested in all of you. And everything I give, I'll try to do an Obama impression. But it doesn't quite work when I do it. I want to be Obama's chubbier little brother, but it doesn't work. Plus, he had hair. He had funny ears. But it can't work. Oh, Cory Booker. Did I tell you my girlfriend's name is Rosario Dawson? And she's in the audience. Hi, Rosie. I'm doing it. Newark, in the house. My man T-Bone. What's up, T-Bone? And all I'm trying to say is that we need to come together. We need to come to unite. I got more to say, but I just can't remember any of it. Listen, we just need more love. Donald Trump's laughing at us with his orange face, his orange fingernails. He smells like Cheetos and whiskey. He's the evil clown, the evil clown from the It show, the Stephen King's It. That's him. And we're allowing him to penetrate the minds of all the young people out there. And I'm just trying to tell you, it's wrong for us to allow it. It's wrong. We need to come together and have more love. I'm a vegan and I can't take this anymore. I'm low energy because I'm low vegan. And I'm leaving it all on the table, America. Oh, it's closing remarks. Oh, Lord. Oh. If you want me to be on this stage again next time, you need to send money, you cheap bastards. Send money to CoryBooker.com 2020. I'll come to your house. I'll strip. I'll do something. I'll paint your car. I'll walk your doggy. I want to be here. I want so bad to be in someone's cabinet. I'm tired of being a senator. I'm tired of living in that horrible neighborhood. I want to move to D.C. I don't like living in the hood anymore. I put my foot in my mouth saying I want to live around the blacks. I'm only half black. I want to move. Send me to D.C., please. I need more love. I need more D.C. My name is Cory Booker, and I approve this message. Bernie's the only person who talked urgently about climate change. Only one. He corrected the moderators because they were like, well, we need to get this done in 8 to 10 years. And Bernie was like, hold on a second. 8 to 10 years? No. I take an issue with the framing of that question. We don't have 8 to 10 years. If we don't get something done in the next 1-2 year, it is over. Listen here. We need to do much better. I wrote the damn bill, and I need to run the damn car over your feet. I will run over your face. You idiots. We need to do something about climate change today. Right here. I talked to Nina Turner. I love Nina. And Nina said I was too old for her, but that she loved me. And that she would help me beat you. She's my black person who knows everything. So she's going to help me end mass incarceration. Right here. We start with climate change. Then we start with getting rid of everybody who looks like a swamp creature. We take them all outside. We bury them deep. We dig a big hole. We put them in the deep hole. Then we put a dirt over the big hole. Then we sail away from the island. That's how you deal with these crony capitalists who are selling our children's futures. That's what we do. And all the Wall Street thieves and vagabonds, we pick them up. We put them in a big bucket. We drop that bucket in the middle of the ocean. It's a big ocean. We put them in the ocean. Right there. Right here. Then we leave the bucket and we drop the bucket. We put bricks in the bucket. We put bricks in the bucket. The bucket will float down all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. They'll cry, they'll scream, I'm drowning. And we do, okay, so fine. Then we cut on the music louder, we can't hear them. Then we sail away. That's how you deal with the Wall Street. Elizabeth Warren, who's stealing all of my great ideas. We take Elizabeth Warren. We take her back to Oklahoma. We put her on a farm. We burn up the farm with her on the farm. We go back, we get things done. That's what we do. This is my idea, my big idea. Climate change is no joke. I'm sweating and I'm cold at the same time. Climate change is no joke. You know what the joke is? The joke is that Donald Trump is the president. And the joke is that you thought Hillary could beat him. No, she couldn't, obviously. And Rachel, you are an idiot with the Russia shit. Stop the Russia shit, okay? Right here is what we need to focus on, right here. There was one part that it was kind of funny, because when you thought that Biden has nothing, I mean, like zero, like what's Biden doing up there? It's almost like watching a smut film or something. Like somebody getting abused, like a dog getting kicked or something. It makes you want to jump to the screen. Hey, leave the dog alone, man. Pick on somebody your own size, man. Pete's like, he's a lot bigger than me. What are you talking about? And every once in a while, because you just feel bad for Biden. But then Biden will do something, you be like, hey, this guy's capable of, he can punch. Because Tom Steyer thought Biden was asleep or something. He was like, hey, I'm a rich guy, but I know the world, and I believe in the world, and I spend a lot of money helping to end climate change, Unlike Joe Biden, with his lame ass, with his horrible ideas. I have a lot of money, and I care more than he does. I can buy Joe Biden and all his ideas and still have money to stop climate change. And Joe Biden, who I thought was asleep, woke up. What is this? Oh, he's talking shit. Oh, he's talking. Oh, okay. When I was Obama and Biden administrations were, we did remarkable things with climate change. We did a lot of great remarkable things. And one of the things that we did when we were Obama and Biden administration was we passed unprecedented legislation in order to combat climate change, more than has ever been done before. Meanwhile, while you were dumping as much coal and fossil fuels into the lakes, killing babies and fish, more than any other country, and more than all the carbon pollution that was done by the whole continent of Asia. That's what you did. So maybe you could not lecture me about climate change, you rich bastard who polluted the world. I was like, wow, go Biden, you know what I'm saying? Like out of nowhere. And I think that's what happens, like when you take like electrotherapy, shock therapy, things kick in like incrementally or intermittently. This is a good punch though. Sanders made another good point, guys, I thought was great about the Palestinians. He said, hey, I'm a supporter of Israel, but Palestinians are people. Maybe we shouldn't let them be slaughtered. And maybe they deserve human rights. And everybody clapped. It's funny how everybody can clap, but everybody don't want to do something about it, though, do they? No, they don't. No, they don't. Gabbard talked about criminal justice reform and white supremacy. I was like, go ahead, Gabbard. You know there's a thing called white supremacy? Go ahead. I know you knew that. It's good. You talk about that sometimes, Instead of keep talking about regime, like after 3 regimes, I'm like, look, that's a lot of regime changes. Let's focus, let's talk about something that at least one black person could like listen and go, okay, yeah, okay. Makes sense. Let's talk about that. And as I stated, Yang talked about white hate crimes or white supremacy and making some of these organizations be, on the list of hate crimes or hate groups or something like that. I thought that was great. I mean, I didn't expect that from Yang. That was good stuff. As I stated earlier, one of the characteristics of Andrew Yang that is impressive, even to somebody like me who doesn't like the fact that Andrew Yang steals other people's legislation that he doesn't support, just like using the name. I thought that's funky and dirty and foul. I would call it out no matter who did it. In fact, I did call it out when I thought that Tulsi Gabbard was doing it. I called it out when Elizabeth Warren was doing it. I called it out when Andrew Yang did it. For some reason, he's got more active people online who happen to give a shit. It's not my fault. I call out everybody. But here's the thing. One of the things I noticed tonight, and I think I said it earlier, that Andrew Yang seems human. Kudos for Andrew Yang being human. His closer was a very humanistic closer. So let's talk about closers. Talk about closers, then we'll go to who did best, who did worst, who needs to drop out. Okay, closers. Cory Booker had a strong closer. He invoked John Lewis. And not the John Lewis that we see now who they card him out every time they want him to pitch for something horrible that the Democrats did and give cover to some bigoted Democrats or lazy Democrats who are not getting done what they need to get done. They use him as a scapegoat like he's the embodiment of civil rights. But back in the day when John Lewis was putting his ass on the line, put his life on the line, almost lost his life on Pettis Bridge in Selma. So that was a great moment for Cory Booker. I thought it was another sign that Cory Booker ain't going easy, and I appreciate that. I respect that. I don't know if it was a little too late, but I respect the effort. Other closer, Tom Steyer came across as sincere. No, I would never vote for him, but he came across as sincere. Like he really means what he says. Maybe he's trying to atone for his past of polluting and desecrating the world and ruining the planet. Now he's trying to do something about it with the last years he's got left, and I respect that he's doing that. There's other ways you can spend money, and spending money to help fight climate change is a pretty good way. So I give respect to that. Garrett's closer, it was lofty. A little too lofty, I think. I think we still need to bring it down a bit, but I get it. It's a closing argument. I wanted her to be a little bit more realist, like more physical, more in the real, not just these ideas like platitudish is not good for closer. But okay, at least give us something to wrap our heads around and kind of like ground it. But it sounded a little hippie-ish. Like I thought, hey, Tulsi Gabbard become Marianne Williamson. What's going on? What's going on here? I know all too well the cost of war, the true cost of war, the high toll of war. Yang, like I said, Yang did a good job. He talked about his kids. Always great to talk about your kids in the world that you live in your kids, because at the end of the day, it's kind of what it's all about. It's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Your kids, right? Klobuchar. Klobuchar, something about being about bold ideas. Klobuchar said something about her having bold ideas, and all I kept thinking was, wow, why didn't you run on any of them? Yeah, I haven't heard a single bold idea from you, Klobuchar. Talking about getting money from your former boyfriends to run for office is not a bold idea. It's called tricking. People do it every day of the week in cities all across the country. Harris says she's always represented the people, never the corporations. What's the name of Steve Mnuchin's bank? Yeah, one time he did represent a corporation. It's called Steve Mnuchin. He became our Treasury Secretary. He should have been locked up from West One Bank or whatever it was. Or what about the time you were representing the state, right, against the poor people? That wasn't for the people. That was for the state. I guess to the people of the state of California. Yeah, but there was people that you were locking up, most of them for nonviolent drug offenses. Remember that? Making them take plea deals for long stretches of time. I know it was your job. So what? You didn't have to have that job. You could have been a public defender like my guy out there who just won. What's his name? Krishna, I can't remember his name. But he was a public defender. There exist people who didn't lock up people who are politicians, who come from a criminal justice background. Buttigieg's closing remarks, he talked about how he wanted to bring moderates and Republicans He didn't say it like that because that sounded too energetic for him. I want to bring together moderates and Republicans and to form a mighty nation. And my lips will barely move when I talk because I don't have lips, and neither do I have anything interesting to say, nor do I really believe in what I'm saying. But it was all going to it's going to sound very monotone, which means you're not going to really be able to pick out that I'm not really saying anything of substance that you should pay attention to. And all you'll think at the end of the day is that I speak well. And that's all you need to think, because that's the way I get your vote, is by not saying anything. And you're going, wow, he talks fast. He's the Ben Shapiro of the left, and we like that. And Pete wants to bring Republicans and moderate Democrats back to the party. I don't know what moderate Democrats could be or Republicans could be. Oh, that's right, in the Republican Party, where they should be, along with you, Pete. Over there. These people seem like they were playing Duck, Duck, Goose in the... and the music stopped, and they got caught on the wrong side of the duck. Bernie gets personal. He talks about his support for immigrants. I thought that was a good way to do it. People need to hear more about Bernie's story. They always say Bernie's too grouchy. I don't think Bernie's grouchy. Just he just cares about what he talks about. He don't got time to play with you. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but he wrote the damn bill. Elizabeth Warren. Oh. Corruption fiddly sticks, Tim Black. Why do you have to breathe like that when it's my turn to talk? When it's your turn to talk about me? What is it about me that makes you breathe that way? Corruption will be the end of us, and so will bald-headed commentators like yourself who say bad things about people of Oklahoma. When I was a little girl, and I used to say, Mama, we need some money, Mama. And she'd say, you know what? Sit down before I smack you in the next week. And I go, okay, Mama, you know what? You're right. I need to shut up. One of these days, I'm going to go take all the money from all the bankers, and I'm going to give it to us. We're going to distribute it, and we call it redistribution of wealth. And everyone will be happy. And it's the corruption that we have in the Democratic Party. And then whenever someone gets mad at me, I'll just change all of my opinions so that I can be in a cool group for once. Biden's closer, he talked about how great the Obama and Biden administrations were. We all know they weren't great. They were shit. Okay. At least not for regular people. They were good for the rich. Rich and corporations, they're really good under Obama. Just like they're doing really good now under Trump. Same thing, both Republican administrations. Just one done listen to Kanye West. They just bring Kanye West on. That's all. It's the only difference. Okay, so who won, who lost? Who won? Who won tonight, guys? Winners, no. Let's go with losers. We'll go with winners. Losers tonight was, hey, guys, Kamala Harris is a loser tonight. She was a loser because she had a lot that she needed to gain tonight. Make no mistake about it. If you are down in the polls, if the person that you were chastising, demeaning, saying was a French candidate passes you in the polls, and you're still there sitting there, and you ain't go like, oh, man, I pulled a hamstring. I got to drop out. I mean, everyone knows to do that. You're in a boxing match. You're getting the crap beat out of you. You get knocked down, you stay down. You don't get up and go, give me another. You just stay down. You don't get paid per punch. One loser tonight is Kamala Harris. Second loser tonight, gosh, man. That's hard, man. Who did anybody else lose tonight? I would have to say Klobuchar. I'm going to say Klobuchar because there was nothing, absolutely nothing that she did tonight made me change my opinion of her, nor did it make me have more faith in her, nor did I go, oh, here goes a breakout moment for her. I did not feel that way for her. She wasn't under the gun to the extent that Kamala Harris is, but she did not rise above any expectation. She did not move the conversation forward. In fact, she just prolonged her own just hanging around. Look, if you're just fighting, or if you're only in this to be offered a job at some point, People already know who you are now. Like the people that are running, if they win, they know who you are now. Staying in there's no point now. You stayed long enough for people to go, oh yeah, I know that's the lady who eats with combs. Yeah, I know her. Yeah, the lady who talked in the snow. There you go. And you get out. What's the point? I don't know how much money Steyer spent to be on that stage to talk that crap. I mean, well, to talk about climate change, which I thought was a noble thing, but I don't see where it's going, dog. Which brings me to what people should drop out. I think Steyer should drop out. But he won't because he got money to throw away. This is a philanthropic pursuit of Tom Steyer's. That's the way I see it. So maybe he shouldn't drop out. I don't know. If he thinks he's helping the country by running, I don't see him as a threat to anyone at all. I think he's doing this because this is what he feels like he should do. I don't know, man. I really think Harris, Klobuchar, and Booker really tried tonight. I don't know if he did enough. Well, he got a little punch in on Biden, but he needed to hit like Pete. What you hitting Biden for? You fighting Biden for votes? Maybe he is. Maybe he thinks his competition is Joe Biden. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe his competition is Joe Biden. He was more aggressive than Klobuchar, more aggressive than Kamala Harris, more aggressive than Tom Steyer, more aggressive than Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren's never aggressive. She just sits there and tries not to get hit. Oh no. Oh, trying to hit me for. Oh, Tim Black. Stop it, fiddly sticks. Gosh darn it. Oh, you betcha I'm going to get you, Tim Black. I'm out here trying to avoid getting hit. And that's why she just runs around the ring. It's hard to come up with a winner, man. It's hard to come up with a winner. I just think we need to. I think the field needs to keep thinning. I don't feel that Gabbard had as great a night as people were projecting she would have. Yeah, she got on the aggressive a couple of times, but she didn't really ding up. Someone said that Gabbard destroyed Harris. I don't think she did. I didn't feel that Harris was destroyed tonight. Now, debate 3, that was great punch. So it's not because I'm biased, Johnson. But I don't think that Gabbard had that stellar a night. In fact, for some reason, I think that people are going to believe what was said about Gabbard tonight because it came out of Pete's mouth. And Pete would never lie. His name Pete. You know, my religious upbringing doesn't preclude me to lying or saying things that are inaccurate about my fellow opponents. Yeah, we may differ on policy, but when it comes to, at the end of the day, we're all Americans who want to do the right thing and we want to go towards the same goal of defeating Donald Trump in 2020. Down. So the winners tonight would have to be who did really well tonight. Like I said, it wasn't the best. It's hard because it wasn't a great debate. It was kind of whack. I'll say Buttigieg did well because no one really heard him. And the fact that Buttigieg could go into a very black place in Georgia after falsifying records that said 400 South Carolinians, black prominent South Carolinians, supported him when they did. When he could doctor his press release with a picture of a woman from Kenya and give people the impression it's a supportive person to his campaign in South Carolina, with all the problems that he's had in South Bend, racial problems, then to have his team leak a memo saying that black people in South Carolina aren't supporting him because he's gay, and no one really bring it up, and everybody let him slide, I say he did pretty good tonight. Because if that would have been up on that stage, I would have brought it up. They would have had to cut my mic, and somebody would have had to come drag me off. But I'm going to bring up those facts. I'm not going to be like Kamala and be like, well, Pete's already apologized for it, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Kamala was scared of Pete Buttigieg. And I think Cory Booker doesn't really want none of Pete either. And then who's left? Bernie's like, why would I take a chance at it? It ain't time for it. It's like, who's going to risk fighting a guy who's going to fight dirty and say anything? And he's got only thing you can call him out on is race. So that's what makes it hard because He hasn't done anything. He's been nowhere. And then he gets to say, oh, because we don't like him. We don't like Washington because Washington don't get things done. Anybody with experience, he goes, says, yeah, you got experience, but whatever you guys done, you guys suck. That's his defense. And he's the uniter, saying that everybody who has more experience than him is dumb or ineffective. So Buttigieg should be a winner tonight. I would say Bernie Sanders did okay. He did okay. Had a couple moments, but he didn't really go after it. And I guess maybe now the thing is, don't get hurt. I don't know. I want more aggressiveness. I always want more aggressive play out of Bernie Sanders. He's better when he's more aggressive. That's when he more resonates. He did well, though. He's the one who talked about Palestinians. He's the one who talked about climate change being an urgent crisis. Those things work in his favor. I think Bernie did a good job. Andrew Yang was humanistic. So there are people who didn't do well, people who did well enough, and a couple people that should drop out. But that's pretty much where I got it. Elizabeth Warren, I wasn't impressed with her. She talked a lot, but what was she really saying? Did she really impress you? She didn't really impress me. But did she really get hurt tonight? No. They laid off her tonight. No one really went there. Pete didn't ride on the Medicare situation, her flip-flopping on it. Bernie Sanders did not bring up Elizabeth Warren recanting sort of on Medicare for All, opening up a new plan that would push back the implementation of Medicare for All. And now she's got to pass not just one piece of legislation, but two pieces of legislation, Johnson. So it's crazy. But they let her slide. Like I said, this was not a great debate. People weren't really getting challenged. That's it, guys. That's what I got. Now I'm going to go to the comment section to see what other people have. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. As usual, this show is brought to you by you. It's brought to you by viewers like yourself. Brought to you by Tim Black's Wolfpack. All right. So it's not funded by the DNC or the GOP or the RNC or any other organization. We're funded by people who watch the show, who actually like the show. We stream, live stream, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Today's a special day. 10 p.m.-ish, 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And, become a part of it. And also become a member of the show at patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, and do that as well on YouTube. So now let me go check and see if people have comments for brother. I like to read those out loud to the rest of the world. Yeah. We got a few people to comment. We got a couple of new members, y'all. We got Patsy Stone. Welcome, Patsy Stone and Burt Kors to the Tim Black Wolfpack. Thank you for joining the Tim Black Wolfpack. We appreciate you. Revolution. Stephen Olvera. Thank you, Stephen. Bernie 2020. That's it. Man, props to anyone who watched it all. I watched it all, man, Rev Marie. I watched the whole thing. I saw you. I retweeted you, didn't I? And I saw you tweeting. So, yeah. Elijah Freeman. Tim, thanks for your post-debate breakdown. Hey, well, thank you, Elijah, for being here. I appreciate you, man. I agree. Worst debate. They really controlled it. Yeah, no. It was whack. It was whack. And it could have been so much more. Matt Al's about investigating Trump equal clown show. Yeah. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you, Andy Gerard. Noah Sand says, Noah Sand just gave me a donation. Thank you, Noah Sand. Same thing to Quasi Express. Amazing. Amazing to you as well. Thank you for being here. We are at war. What a god-awful debate. P.S. It's time for Tosi to drop and endorse the anti-war candidate. Time for a lot to drop, actually. There you go. You know what? I can see that. Hey, look, if it was up to me, no Tom Steyer, no Cory Booker, no Klobuchar, no Harris. It'd be down to Buttigieg, Bernie, Liz, Biden. Yeah, that'd be it. Klobuchar out. So, no, it would be, if it was up to me today, it would be down to Bernie, Elizabeth, Biden, and Buttigieg. And Buttigieg really shouldn't be in it either, to be honest with you. That's what I think, like, just being, real. Now, it's cool. It's interesting to have Yang in it. It's interesting to have Tosi in it. But are they really in it? I'm not saying drop out, but it's like, what are they doing? There's a reason for it. I'm just keeping it 100 with you guys. I don't see a path to victory for either one of those candidates. But if there was a Hail Mary, I think it would more likely come from Yang than come from Tulsi. Just because they're going to continue to throw everything in the path of Tulsi Gabbard. Man, she's talking about ending their biggest profit center. They're going to just keep throwing furniture in her direction. Man, if she's able to dodge the bullets and the lightning sticks, the lightning and the IEDs or whatever, she's able to duck the bows, the arrows, the rocks, the mortars, everything. And they're going to start throwing pianos and tennis rackets. I mean, they're going to pick up bowling balls. They'll throw everything out at her. Kitchen sinks, toilets, toilet lids, baskets, shopping carts. They're going to throw everything in her pathway to stop her because she's talking about the thing that keeps the money. The money, man. The money. So, but I'm going to look into when she met with Donald Trump, what she meet with him about. Someone was telling me that it had something to do with Steve Bannon. I need to find out what that was because that's not good, Johnson. It's not good, Johnson. Yeah, I'm not one of those people who go, oh, Steve Bannon's a good guy. We just got a different type of political. Nah, no. See, I don't agree with that type of stuff where maybe you would feel differently if these people were promoting things that were promoting ideologies that were against you as a human being. Maybe you feel a little bit different about it if it was you or from a protected group of people that have been disenfranchised historically in this country. And there's people who were very derisive about your sheer existence and put out very problematic and bigoted bullshit about about people that look like you, based on nothing else than your skin color. Maybe you feel a little different if that was you. You know, I know a lot of you, would, but you don't now, but you would. So anyway, I'm gonna look into it. Reed Barker said, Joy Reid said Tulsi sounds Kremlin-y. I don't even know what that means. Kremlin-y. I tweeted at AM Joy and Zerlina Maxwell. I saw Zerlina Maxwell when I was at Politicon. And I didn't speak to her. She didn't speak to me, but I know she knows who I was. Or I know she knows who I am. Or who I were. I'm still him, by the way. When I was in the room talking to Dr. Jason Johnson, we had a little debate about Bernie Sanders supporters. It's on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. Zerlina Maxwell was there the whole time. She was watching our debate. I hadn't met Dr. Jason Johnson before, but he knew who I was. When I walked up, he said, hey, Tim Black. Hey, we shook hands and we talked. So he knows who I am. I'm sure come on, man. I'm not that obscure. All right. Anyway, so all I'm saying is, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, her and Joy Reid share the same sentiments regarding Tulsi Gabbard, from my understanding. Debate got a little spicy for the last 30 minutes. I wish Tulsi would have been landed a better haymaker on Pete Buttigieg. Right. Buttigieg. Hey. And Kamala Harris, though, called me and Cory Booker need to stop begging for money on TV. It's sad. Cory Booker need to stop begging for money. Well, last debate, Andrew Yang was like, go to my website, enter the sweepstakes. That was bad, too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Cory better do it or go home. It's over if he don't do something. He needs a game changer. Did Cory make a game changer tonight? I mean, he really laid it on in his closing speech. His closing remarks are very strong, but was it enough? That's all I'm saying. I don't think it was. And I was impressed that he went that hard. I don't think it was enough, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was enough. We'll see. I'm your white neighbor. Well, hey, white neighbor, how you doing? I don't have a white neighbor. My neighbor's black. But I have a white neighbor across the street. But he's not neighbor. Well, you just say next door neighbor. That'd be weird if you really were my white next door neighbor, wouldn't it? Like, come on, Tim Black, come on over and get a beer, man. Like, all right, man. Stop jumping in my chat, man. Dana Villa Perez. Punch at it, Johnson. Oh, yeah, what was Biden talking about? Biden was talking about domestic abuse. And he used the metaphor that we need to punch at it. We got to stop domestic abuse. We need to punch at it and punch at it. People are like, what the hell is wrong with Joe? How much longer will Joe get to do stuff like that, man? Do you really want Joe on stage with Trump? Come on, man. Like, I'm serious. I want those people to look in their souls. Like George W. Bush would say, look into your soul. I looked into his soul. So looked in his soul, said, hey, soul. Look into his soul. New Doughboy, Tulsi tore Pete up. But it didn't hit like Kamala. Yeah, she got into Pete. But it just was not enough time. Was not enough time. She was getting at him, though. Pete, I don't know what these people are thinking. You know, I don't know what these people are thinking. Tulsi told Pete he lacked courage. I didn't miss it. You're right. He did say that he lacked courage. She said he lacked courage to meet with people that he disagreed with or adversaries. Well, he's never had the possibility or the ability to meet with him because he's nothing. I think she should have went another way. If I was her, I like her sentiment, but she should have said, well, Pete, you've never been in a position to meet with any adversaries or friends. You're no one. You've been a mayor of a little small town. You don't even meet with your own people in your own town. Why let him play with the big boys and girls? Make his punk ass play in this little town of people that he doesn't treat well. Why are we elevating him? Why are you elevating this guy? It makes no sense. You're arguing with him on a level as if he deserves to be on your level talking to you, sister. He don't even deserve to be talking to you about foreign policy. He don't know anything. He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and he can't get that right. Go to South Bend, fix South Bend. That'd have been my total conversation with him. I'd have been like, you're not on any committees, you don't know anything. You have no understanding of any of this stuff. You don't even understand how to clean up your police force. But you want to run our military? Pete, for real? This what you want to do? Oh, well, since I know how to I know how to run a delicatessen, of course I know how to run the Federal Reserve. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, I got experience running stuff. I mean, come on, you're buying this narrative that any way at all, him being in the reserves for a couple years and then being a mayor of a tiny-ass town means he's in a position to run the country? You're going to actually let him equate anything with what you've done, Tulsi Gabbard? No! 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 So I didn't miss it, JV. I just thought it wasn't a great tact. Now, go ahead and admit that mine makes more sense. Why are we allowing this scrub to pretend he could play in the NBA? The guy's been playing intramural sports in high school on the backup squad, and you are playing in the NBA, and you want to argue with him about who knows more about shooting or scoring or defense or offense. What? Don't even elevate him to that. I don't understand it. Is this making sense with you? Is that making sense? I hope so, man. If it doesn't, that's on you. Ain't on me, because I know what I'm saying makes sense. You get that guy that up. That's like somebody who doesn't run a digital content creation company, doesn't have any content, made a video one time on their phone, and then wants to tell me, who has been doing this 7-8 years, who's been on TV, been on panels, 7 IMDb credits, been in documentaries, public speaker, radio, all this stuff. That person wants to tell me what I need to do in order to do better content. Now, it's one thing to have suggestions. It's another thing to say that you know more than me. I mean, come on, dog. Like, you don't even let that person, you don't even entertain their bullshit. That's all I'm saying. And why are people entertaining it? Why are people entertaining it? Cut his legs from underneath him and bring him down to reality. Son, when you going to fix South Bend? That's what I want to know. Why are we talking about what you're going to do to the U.S. when you need to go fix South Bend, sir? What's the incarceration? I would know all the numbers on incarceration levels in South Bend, poverty numbers in South Bend, all the complaints of people in South Bend. Where is the Oppo research on Pete? And why isn't anyone come with it and say it? Just, Pete, why your teachers only make $22,000? Or whatever it is, right? All right. New Doughboy said, this debate has too many people. You're right, my brother. You're right, Dope. Tim, you are hilarious. Tony DeMille, thank you, my friend, thank you. Giovanna, 2 hours in the Yang's trip. I'm Andrew Yang. They tried to murder me before I was born. What? When I was 13, they tried again. Machines from the future. Oh, Terminators, my freedom dividend will save us from Skynet. Come on, man. All right, man. Y'all killing it, man. Half a ball says, almost want Warren to win now because our impression is too funny and wouldn't want to lose it. Also love your Deval Patrick video. Hilarious stuff, man. Well, thank you, half a ball. Oh, man, with Deval Patrick, if he gets on the stage in December, that's going to be hilarious. I'm excited to hear what I'm going to say, too. Because you know none of this stuff is scripted. You know that. Tay Scott says, Tulsi and Young fans are holding Bernie back. They need to quit screaming over our only chance to get a real progressive in the White House. And Rev Maurice dropped another dime. Thank you, Rev Marie. I appreciate you. Another nickel. I appreciate you. Listen, guys, this has been fun for me. I always think, oh, my God, how I'm going to get through watching a 2-hour plus debate, then having to do a live stream is going to go over an hour or two, maybe an hour and 15. I don't know what it is. And every time I do it, it ends up being fun as hell. And I love being in front of people, and I'm not in front of people. Like, I like live events more than I like this. But I know you guys are there watching, so I just kind of envision. And what we're working on now is I got a consultant that I'm working with where I'm creating like a avatar for my viewers, right? So, I'm trying to embody, I'm trying to remember there's always people, like, it's different when you talk to a camera, but I wanted to thank you all for being here tonight. I don't see you, but I see you, right? I don't see you, but I see you. I got love for you. This is the Tim Black Wolfpack Wheel community. We're building a bigger community. We're growing every day because of people like you. Thank you, everybody who came out tonight. I appreciate y'all. Go to TimBlackTV.com, sign up, pick up a shirt or something or a mug, and be a part of it. Share the content. I'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Remember, hashtag People Power, hashtag Tim Black Show, hashtag sprinkle some facts on them. Peace. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack.